Hey everybody. Well, every now and then on this channel I end up doing a review about something that's kind of out of my realm and not something I normally do. And that's what's going to happen with this. So I'm actually doing this video as a favor to a friend of mine. His son is really into these wood train sets. And this particular one is by a company called Sainsmart Jr. And it is the logging cabin train set, and it has 100 pieces to it. Now, I guess there's different companies that make sets just like this. I think one of the main ones is called Brio, I believe is how you pronounce it, Brio. And then you have these other offshoot brands, probably like Lego and the knockoff Lego brands, and they all work together, even, they're the same pieces. So these pieces will work the Brio brand, if you have those as well. But this one here, looks like a pretty cool set. It's got a little train that comes with it. It has all the different pieces to build this log cabin and a few other things. On the back of the box here, we can see what the whole thing looks like when you use all the pieces and the whole layout. You got a little woodshed kind of looking thing over here. You can build the log cabin. There's some trees. There's even some figures of some people, a cowboy, a horse, even a trough for the horse to drink out of. And you can arrange these track pieces any which way you want, or use as little or as many parts as you want. And like I said, you can interchange these with other sets as well. All right, well, let's open this up and see what all the pieces look like. All right, well, this comes with quite a bit of parts to this kit, and a surprising amount, actually. So in here, we can see there's the Lincoln log type of larger, longer logs there. They got some that are kind of loose. There's 4 really long ones there, some medium ones, and some smaller ones. Down here, we got some planks. These are just like standard wood planks of 2 different lengths here. Let me see here. We've got some roof pieces. There's a couple of these and another couple of roof pieces there. Now there's some of these divider pieces of track. They give you 3 of them. Some of them have the little ball joint on the end, and some just have the connector part. There's a whole bunch of these curved pieces, and what's cool about these pieces, by the way, is that they work both ways. You can flip it over, and now you got tracks on the other side. So whichever way you need this to turn, you can use it both ways, and I think this is the same. So that's kind of cool. There's a short straightaway piece. There's a couple of longer ones there. We have some, well, there's just one little short curved piece here. This is like a little ramp. Not sure what you'd use that for, but it's nice that they provide it. This piece here, I think, is going to be the chimney for the top of the cabin. And then we have some more of these smaller Lincoln log bits. We have a couple of nice little figures. These guys are actually pretty decent looking, actually. You got some arm movement here. They can actually move their arms like that. And you can bend their legs as well. So you get a couple of these guys. There's a doorway right here. Now this is a plastic piece, and the door does open and close. And then let's see what else. Here's where we get the train cars. Now here's the main engine. This is wood. The wheels are very nicely smooth moving. There is magnetic connectors on the front, and they're not real strong magnets, so kids could pull this apart and not have to have a hard time with it. This is either a coal car or the log car, and then this one as well. I think one of these carries rocks and the other one carries little logs, and those little logs are right here, and then the rocks are right here. They're little plastic rocks. Those are pretty cool. There is the trough for the horse, the drinking trough. There is the horse himself, and on the other side is the cowboy. So it's kind of weird how he's wood, and then they have the plastic figures. I guess it's a mixture of both there. We have some trees. They give you 3 of those. And then there's a couple of street lights as well. So yeah, you get quite a bit with this set, which is actually pretty impressive. All right, well, let me put it all together as it shows on the box. We'll make that set first, and then we'll look at some of the other ones. Okay, so here is the set as it is seen in the display. And it was pretty fun to put together. Everything's, very easy. The tracks just go in with those little kind of knobs that go into the holes there. Here we got the figures, the tree. Here's the train. There's the little logs sitting in there. These rock pieces are pretty cool. They actually look like little rocks. The cabin is right there, and that was fun to put together. The instructions tell you what you need to put it together and how to assemble it. Some more trees there. I put the street lights just in front. Here is the horse and the cowboy. And one thing I do wish is that the cowboy would have had like maybe the back print on here. It doesn't do that. And then also the horse is the same thing. They could have at least maybe done the print on both sides. But what is pretty neat is that the cowboy can sit on top of the horse. It looks like he's riding it. So that's pretty cool. Over here is the wood shed, or I'm guessing that's what this is supposed to be. And it goes together very nicely as well. All the little planks right there that make up the roof. And the instructions tell you how to put this together too. And I suppose you can probably, mix and match these parts to make different things. Accidentally knocked the chimney over here. But yeah, it's pretty fun and really neat set considering that it's, all made of wood. The train actually drives surprisingly smooth on the tracks right here. I mean, it's, very little resistance when it's going across there. Every now and then you might hit a little bit of a hiccup where the, especially in these little switcheroo tracks here, sometimes it might get stuck, or some of these ones get stuck back here. But you can kind of see how you can go all the way around like that. And then you can kind of go on to this little, you have to kind of make it go right, the right way to go around that little corner right there. But yeah, this is pretty neat. I like how smooth they actually roll on here. And of course, you can arrange these tracks whatever way you want without knocking over the people, of course. All right, so there's 4 other layouts that you can try, and I'll show you what those look like. So in the instructions here, we can see how they tell you to put together the little wood shed, and then this is the cabin right here. And then they have, the parts labeled like this. And yeah, I mean, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell which ones are which, but you can mostly tell by how many they have, like, 15 of those, so you don't get them mixed up with some other part. And down here, they just show you how many of the track parts that you get. And this is that first layout that I showed you. And these are the 4 other layouts. And they just show you what track pieces you can use. And what's nice about these is they don't take up, a whole lot of room. Well, of course, if you got more track pieces, you can, make the layout as big as you want. But this actually doesn't take up that much room at all. This is layout number 2. It's a little bit more compact. So if you don't have as much room, you can use this layout. And this is pretty decent. Goes around here. You got the nice round section of track. You can go all the way around the long way, or you can just make a quick little short roundabout right here, whichever way you want to go. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's take a look at layout number 3. This is layout 3, and I kind of like layout 3. It doesn't take up too much room, but it does have some interesting curves around here, and it still leaves you the middle section right there. So that one looks pretty cool. Let's look at layout 4. This is layout 4, which actually looks very similar to layout 1. The only difference is that this part right here comes inside the circle versus going outside where that little woodshed is. So, but this is still a pretty nice layout as well. And here we have layout 5, which probably takes up the most room of all of them, just because it's a pretty wide open loop right there. And then this little section here. I think I kind of like layout 4 the best. It seems to be the most compact, and you still got a couple of loops in there. But they're all pretty cool, and the more parts you get, the more stuff you can do with it. So there we go, the nice wooden train set for kids, or adults too, actually. I actually know I know a train enthusiast who would actually like this set. And even myself, I think this is actually pretty cool. If I was a kid, I would have loved to have had this thing, and even as an adult, it's kind of fun to play with. So I want to give a big shout out and a thank you to my friend James, who let me borrow this set to do a review on it. He's the one that suggested it, and I'm kind of glad I did. I was a little hesitant at first, but I do like it. There's also, I should mention, some extra parts that you have left over when you make these particular sets. So they do give you some extras, and they're all mainly for the buildings, not necessarily for the tracks. And like I said, this does work with the other sets, like the Brio sets. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I think there's some other brands as well, and they all mention that they all kind of work with each other because they all have the same exact pieces here for the track and stuff like that. So this particular company, once again, is, what was it? Sainsmart Junior. And I looked online. My friend paid $37 for this set. He found it on Amazon. And so, yeah, this is it. That's what it looks like. So, yep, very cool set. Maybe something your kids might be interested in for Christmas, assuming I get this video up by Christmas time. And also, if you just have a train enthusiast friend who might like it, doesn't take up a lot of room, and you can do all kinds of cool different stuff with it, and it's actually pretty cool. All right, well, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like button, and also subscribe too. I'd really appreciate that as well. So thank you very much for watching. I very much appreciate it, and have a good one.